So in case you didn't see my last nail video, I'm just going to kind of explain really quick what I use and where I get it. So this is the liquid that I use. It's Mia's Secret, and I get this from Amazon. And I also use the Mia's Secret acrylic powder. This is in clear. Now this came in a set when I got it, but I don't think they have the set anymore in clear. They do have it in pink though, but they do sell it separately, and everything will be listed in the description box below. I'll try to list them all separately. And then this is the drill that I use. I think it was only like $15–16. It's worked really well for me. So I don't know the names of the drill bits or whatever they're called, but this little guy, I'm going to take the brown one, and it's kind of like a thicker standing type one. I'm going, and it just slides right in, and this drill does have a different speed, I guess. You can lower it or higher it. I do higher it for the nail polish removal. So this is the gel that I'm taking off. And what I do is I use that brown little guy, and I am just going in downward motions. Pretty much for the most part, I'm going downward. And I do, like I said, I do it on a higher speed. So this is basically just how I take off the gel, and like for me, I know I'm going to put a lighter color, so I really want to make sure I take off every bit of the previous color I had because I don't want it to come through my nail polish. I used to hate when my nail guy used to do that. Even just a little bit would bug me, so I want to make sure I get it all off. And my nails, as you can see, like I said in my last video, this has been 2 weeks and they look like they really don't even need to be filled. And if I got them done at the nail salon, they would look like it's been a month. I don't know why, but it's crazy. But I mainly took them off. I'm mainly redoing them so fast because I was just over this color I had on, and I might as well fill them if I'm going to change the color. Next, I'm going to switch to this little skinny piece right here, and I'm going to do around my cuticles. I really like cleaning up my cuticles when I do my nails, especially right now that I'm washing my hands so much more and it's a little dry around there. So I just take this and I go around my nail from right to left, and I'm basically, it kind of lifts the cuticle and also just really cleans up, pushes it back and cleans it up. So I really like doing this, and I don't do it a lot. I just go over maybe once or twice each nail. And then next, while I still have this in, I'm going to do under my nails where I do this when I have like a lot of natural nail growth. I really don't like when my nails start getting long underneath, so I'm going to clean it up under there, and this will probably be my last set before I switch them out because, again, I don't like when they get really long and my nails grow really fast. So then I'm going to switch back to the little brown file, and I'm going to just go around maybe once, maybe twice, and this kind of just takes off everything that I just lifted up. So I'm just going to do it maybe once or twice, and I go in with the edge of the sander and on a lower speed. I'm going to take the nail primer, and I also use Mia's Secret Nail Bond, and I'm going to put that all along the top part of my nail around my cuticle. And for the brushes that I don't use actual nail brushes. They're just like makeup brushes, and they're really cheap ones actually, but they've been working really well for me because they're a lot smaller. I got them from Coastal Scents. I will try to link them because I didn't link them in the last video because they don't have a number or a name on them, but I will try to link them this time if I find them. And then, so what I do is I basically get my brush a little wet, and then I like to go with a small amount first. This is just what works for me. I like to go with a small amount first and put it as close to my cuticle as possible, but I don't want to put a lot there, so I kind of don't put it as close to my cuticle, but I push it up to my cuticle, if that makes sense. And then just drag whatever's left down. And it's very important, I said it in my last video, it's very important to clean around the cuticles. You don't want a lot of acrylic there. So what I usually do is I go in with one small amount, and then after I have that the way I like it, I'll usually go in with a little bit more just to kind of fill it up a little bit and in case I missed any spots. And then again, I'm going to clean around the cuticle. You're going to see me doing that a lot because it's very important and it saves you so much time when you're having to file them after. And I do like my nails really thin, so I don't put a lot of acrylic. I don't put it thick. I really don't like thick nails, so this is just the way I do it. And then I ended up switching brushes because I didn't like the way that brush was working for me, so I used this other brush. I forgot, I can't see who it's from, but I'll try to link it in the description box. But it's basically the same, a little bit of the same kind of type of brush. Again, not a nail brush. But yeah, so filling them is really easy. It takes me like half the time when I'm filling them, especially just to do the acrylic. I usually just go in with once or twice and then it's really a lot faster. And then this is the other Coastal Scents brush that I have. See, it doesn't have a name. It just says mini contour or something like that. It's really tiny, but this brush has been so helpful, especially around the cuticles. And I even do my pinky nail is like really narrow, so I do my pinky nail with that one too. And I work better with smaller brushes, so that one works really, really well. Okay, so this next part, let me tell you, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I probably should have looked it up before I even tried to do it on how to do it because I just didn't know what I was doing. So I took a bunch of these gold flakes. Again, I will link these as well. And I probably should have cut them up a lot smaller, but I took some of these gold flakes and I added just a little bit acrylic first to kind of fill in around my cuticle, and then I brushed it down just to give it something to stick to. I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to do it, but this is just the way I tried it. So I did that. Okay, so then it just gives it something to stick to, and then I started going in with the gold glitter flakes, and I started using a tweezer because I thought it would be better and I can place it better, because on my other hand I did it with the brush and it wasn't working well and I didn't put enough. And yeah, so I tried to do it like that, but I wasn't able to pick it up with the tweezers, so I kind of went back to the brush anyways. So I'm just kind of sticking them anywhere, really anywhere they fall, and just not leaving any large spaces and just making sure. And sometimes I dipped my brush back into the liquid just so it can stick to the nail, and that pretty much worked pretty good. So after I got the glitter flakes on there, I went in with a larger amount of acrylic than I usually do because I just really wanted to pack that on. And I put it on there and then I kind of waited a little bit for it to get a little bit dry, I guess, and easier to work with so it wouldn't just wipe right off. So I started at the end, I put a large amount, I waited a little bit, and then kind of dragged it down towards the bottom of my nail, and then I went back in with more acrylic and did that to the top part of my nail. I put like a large, well, not, I just put a lot on top next to my cuticles. And then after I did that, I went in with another layer just to be sure, just a really thin layer all over the full nail. And then next, when the acrylic is dry, I'm going to take my nail file, and I used 100 and 180 grit nail file, and I used the harder side. There's like one side that's a little bit harder. I used that side right after I fill them, and this is the kind of like motion or direction I'm doing. I kind of go from the bottom and then work my way around the top, and I do like them to go a little bit skinnier at the bottom, so that's just, I'm just kind of shaping them like that, and then I make sure that they're straight at the bottom as well. And then also as I'm filing each one, I kind of go one by one to see if like that nail matches my other hand's nail in length, just to make sure they're all the same length. And then next I'm going to switch and take this little guy. All these little drill bit things come with this drill, so it's not like you need to buy anything extra. I like taking this because again, it's really important not to have any of that acrylic stuck to your nails. I believe it helps with the lifting, not having them lift, and also it just looks really ugly when there's a lot of acrylic stuck to your nails. So this really helps clean up that area, and it doesn't, like, you won't cut yourself with this basically. So I take this first and then I'll go in with, I'll switch to the brown one and do that. I'm switching back here because when I was filing it the first time, this guy is so thick that it wasn't dry yet. So I am now doing this nail, and I basically did it the exact same way I'm doing my other nails. I just had to wait for it to dry because I put a lot more acrylic on there. So yeah, then I switched to the brown file again, and I'm basically doing the same thing I did in the beginning. I'm just using the edge to kind of clean off all that dead part around and all the extra acrylic that wasn't on there. And then I turn my file around and use the side to kind of start making the nail smooth, and I work my way from the top to the bottom. I just want to make sure there is no bumps or lumps, and I just want to make sure it's smooth. So I keep filling it, and I just try to look at it from all angles. You can go in, I'm sure, straight around the cuticles with this, but this can, I mean, if you do it too much, start hurting your cuticles and possibly cut yourself. So I like using the other one first and then just use this one a little bit. And then for this nail, I really had to file it down just because it was so thick. So I just basically filed it down a lot until I got it to a lot skinnier, just basically how I like doing my nails, a lot skinnier, and then making sure there's no bumps or it's not bumpy or lumpy at all, and then just actually praying that I don't hit the go all the way down to the gold flakes and have them start popping up. But I didn't, and it worked out pretty good. And then the last step I like to do is I will buff them with this little buffing thing. And then I also like to take a little bit of alcohol and wipe off any excess powder and just get it ready for the gel polish. And then this is the top coat, clear top coat that I use. I really like this one. It cures really well and really fast, and it's shiny and it stays shiny. It works really well. Again, it will be linked in the description box below. So I just used that on that one nail with the glitter flakes, and this is the color that I'm going to be using. It is in the set. It's the color 349. It's in the set of 6 that I linked in my last video. This might be one of my favorite colors, and this brand works really well. I really like this brand. It kind of worked better than the D&D color that my last color was, that brand, which I normally use at my nail salon, but I don't know, I really like this brand, and I go in with one really thin layer, and then I cure it, and then I'll go in with another. And I didn't realize, since I started, my pinky nail was already done. I just went in with one coat of this, so that's why it looks a lot lighter than the rest of my nails. I didn't give it a second coat. I don't know why I did it. I don't know how I forgot that. But I also like it with one coat too because it's a lot lighter. I just really like this color. This is probably my favorite color from that set. So, and I actually didn't show me putting it under the LED light because my cord didn't reach to get into frame. So I kind of just did that off camera. So this is the second, or this is the Oh, and then after I do 2 coats of the pink, I go in with this clear again. And that's pretty much it. And then don't forget to take a cuticle oil and put it around your cuticles to moisturize them. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching.